Welcome back to the UFC Predictions Tracker channel. In this video we will go over all the picks that were made by the UFC Prediction Channels on YouTube for UFC Fight Night Israel Adesanya vs Nassourdine Imavov. This week I've added 3 new stats to help you make better betting decisions, which are break-even percentage, best favorite predictors and best underdog predictors. I've also added more colors to make it easier to see how big a favorite or underdog a fighter is. Light green for small favorites, dark green for big favorites, and the same from light to dark red for underdogs. Let me know what you think of these updates in the comments. Now let's get into this week's fights. We start with Hamdy Abdelwahab and Jamal Pogues in the heavyweight division. And this fight in average odds is basically even, with -114 for Hamdy and -108 for Jamal. And it's also pretty even in picks by the Tapology Community. 56% predict that Hamdy wins this fight and 44% pick Jamal. And most think this fight will go to a decision. However, the YouTube predictors are a bit more confident in Hamdy to win. 46 out of 76 channels or 60.5% pick him to win and 30 channels pick Jamal to win. But when we look at the best predictors of 2024 that had a return on investment of at least 5%, they all picked Hamdy Abdelwahab to win, which I think is pretty interesting. For more information on the best predictors of 2024, check out the link in the description below. And here we have the new statistics. The best favorite predictors and underdog predictors. Because this fight is so even in odds, we can kind of ignore them for this fight. But here, almost everyone thinks Hamdy will win this fight. The next fight is in the featherweight division between Bogdan Grad and Lucas Alexander. And this fight is also pretty close in average odds. Bogdan Grad is a slight favorite with -125 and Lucas Alexander a slight underdog with +100. Although this fight is really close in odds, in picks by the Tapology Community, Bogdan Grad is a big favorite and 83% of them predict that he will win this fight and only 17 for Alexander. And most think it will go to a decision. Most of the YouTube prediction channels also favor the newcomer Bogdan Grad. 54 out of 76 or 71% pick him to win and 22 channels predict that Lucas Alexander wins. 5 out of 8 of the best predictors pick Grad and 3 out of 8 pick Lucas to win. 2/3 of the best favorite and underdog predictors also pick Bogdan Grad to win. We can kind of ignore these stats because Bogdan is not really a big favorite. The next fight is a women's fight in the flyweight division between Jasmine Jasudavicius and Mayra Bueno Silva. Jasmine is the favorite with -255 and Mayra the underdog with +200. 77% of the Tapology Community pick Jasmine to win and 23% Mayra, most thinking this fight will go to a decision. We see the same percentage with the YouTube prediction channels. 77% predict Jasmine wins and 23% Mayra. And almost all of the best predictors pick Jasmine to win 7 out of 8 and 1 out of 8 is picking Mayra. When we look at the best favorite predictors, they're even more confident that Jasmine will win. 14 out of 15 pick her to win. And the best underdog predictors don't have much faith that the underdog Mayra wins this fight. Only 1 out of 6 predict her to win. The next fight is in the lightweight division between Terrance McKinney and Damir Hadzovic. Terrance McKinney is the biggest favorite of this fight card with -490 in average odds and Damir the underdog with +350. 91% of Tapology pick McKinney to win and most think by KO or TKO. Terrance is also a big favorite in picks by the YouTube prediction channels. 70 out of 75 or 93% are predicting that he will win and only 5 channels have picked Damir. And when we look at the best predictors overall for favorites and underdogs, they all pick him to win. So overall a huge favorite in picks. The next one is in the heavyweight division between Shamil Gaziev and Thomas Peterson. Shamil is the big favorite with -355 and Thomas with +270 the underdog. Gaziev is a huge favorite in picks by the Tapology Community. 93% pick him to win either by KO, TKO or decision. 68 out of 76 prediction channels or 89.5% pick Gaziev to win and only 8 channels pick Thomas Peterson. And we see the same percentage with the best predictors, but also with the best favorite predictors and the best underdog predictors. Almost all of them pick Shamil Gaziev to win. The last fight on the prelims is between Naimov and Kaan Ofli in the featherweight division. Naimov is a pretty big favorite with minus 325 and Kaan Ofli the underdog with plus 250. Mohammed is also the big favorite in picks by the Tapology Community. 92% predict that he will win either by KO, TKO or a decision. Naimov is the biggest favorite in picks on this card by the YouTube Prediction Channels, with 74 out of 75 predict him to win or 98.7%, and only one channel predicts that Kaan Ofli wins, which is Alexander Volkanovski. When we look at the best predictors overall and the best favorite and underdog predictors, they all pick Naimov to win. The next fight is in the lightweight division between Fares Siam and Mike Davis. And again we have a fight that's pretty close in odds. Fares Siam is the slight underdog with plus 120 and Mike Davis the favorite with minus 145. Despite being the slight underdog, almost 2/3 of the Tapology community pick him to win and over 1/3 pick Davis to win. But most of them predict this fight will go to a decision. However, the YouTube prediction channels disagree with the Tapology community, and Mike Davis is a small favorite with 51.3% or 40 out of 78 picks, and 38 channels pick Fares. And the best predictors also favor Mike Davis with 5 out of 8 and 3 out of 8 for Fares. The best favorite predictors don't favor Mike Davis, although slightly, with 7 out of 15 predicting him to win. And with the best underdog predictors, it's 50-50. The next fight is in the bantamweight division between Said Nurmagomedov and Vinicius Oliveira. Said Nurmagomedov is the favorite with minus 165 and Vinicius the underdog with plus 135. Said is also the favorite in picks by the Tapology community with 62% and 38% pick Vinicius to win. But Said is a bigger favorite in picks by the YouTube prediction channels. 54 out of 79 or 68% predict that he will win. And 25 channels predict that Vinicius will win. However, the best prediction channels heavily favor Said Nurmagomedov with 7 out of 8 or 87.5%, and only one of them is picking Vinicius. And also, most of the favorite predictors pick Said Nurmagomedov to win with 12 out of 15. So yeah, in picks, Said looks to be a very big favorite, despite him being not such a big favorite in average odds. Then we go to the heavyweight division for a banger of a fight between Sergei Pavlovich and Jairzinho Rozenstruik. Sergei is the big favorite with minus 330 in average odds and Jairzinho the underdog with plus 250. 86% of the Tapology community predict Pavlovich to win, and almost everyone think this fight will end by KO or TKO. Sergei is also the big favorite in picks by the YouTube prediction channels. 70 out of 78 or almost 90% predict that he will win, and only 8 channels have picked Jairzinho. And we see the same with the best predictors overall and the best favorite and underdog predictors. Almost all of them predict that Sergei Pavlovich wins this fight. Then, for the co-main event, we have a fight in the middleweight division between Shara Magomedov and Michael Venom Page. And Shara is the favorite with minus 190 and Michael the underdog with plus 155. Despite being the underdog, Page is the favorite in picks by the Tapology community with 53% versus 47% for Magomedov. In picks by the YouTube prediction channels, Shara Magomedov is a slight favorite, and 54 out of 79 channels predict him to win for 55.7%, and 35 channels pick Michael Page. With the best predictors, it's 50-50. When we look at the channels who had the best results on picking favorite fighters, most of them are picking Shara Magomedov to win, with 11 out of 15 or almost 75%. So, what do you think? Could this be a profitable betting opportunity on Shara Magomedov? Let us know in the comments below. And then, for the main event, we have a fight in the middleweight division between Israel Adesanya versus Nassourdine Imavov. Israel is the slight favorite with minus 160 and Imavov the dog with plus 130. Adesanya is the favorite in picks by the Tapology community. and 77% predict that he will win, mostly via decision, and 23% predict that Imavov wins. The prediction channels on YouTube are less optimistic than the Tapology Community, but he's still the favorite with 52 out of 81 channels picking him to win for 64%, and 29 channels are picking Imavov for 36%. However, most of the best predictors of 2024 disagree with the Oddsmakers, the Tapology Community and the YouTube prediction channels. And 6 out of 8 channels predict that Nassourdine Imavov wins this fight, and only 2 have picked Israel Adesanya. When we look at the best favorite predictors, they don't seem to have a lot of trust in Israel Adesanya, and only 4 out of 15 predict that he will win. 4 out of 6 of the best underdog predictors favor the underdog in Nassourdine Imavov to win. So, overall, quite a big difference between the Oddsmakers, Tapology Community, YouTube prediction channels and the best predictors. So, what's your prediction? Who wins this fight? Let us know in the comments. Hope you all enjoyed this breakdown of all the picks for this UFC fight night. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to support the channel and get some extra benefits, then check out my Patreon. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a great weekend and enjoy the fights. I'll see you in the next one.